Hello? Dạ, đấy nhưng mà điều này mình hơi trễ, 7 giờ đó. Mình không kịp. Ừ. Dạ, dạ. Ừ. Kiểu, mặt tốt. Rồi, có báo sinh này nữa. Ừ. Ừ. Cái đó, đây là those who are here for the first time. People from financial security to financial security and finally to financial independence. The information we are going to hear today may or may not be familiar to you. All we ask is to have an open mind. If in the end of the presentation you see something that sparks or ignites your interest, please go back to the person who invited you and he or she will answer all your questions. Isn't that a good start? Yes. Okay, to share more about this campaign, we're privileged today to have one of the best educator in this center. She has helped many people understand how money works and most especially assisted many families to reach their financial goals and independence. So without further ado, please help me welcome Miss Lilibet Reyes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is Lilibet Reyes, and I am proud to be standing here to be able to take the new guest with me and explain or
present the overview of what the company is doing. As what I said, my name is Lilibeth, and I joined this company a few years ago. I love what I heard and what Christina said. It is very important to learn the money game is because it is hard to win any kind of game if we don't know the rules. Don't you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, please, for the first timers, if you could please come and join me to a special room that is set aside for us. And rest will stay here and continue to be inspired and, do what the company is doing. Please come and follow me. 1, 2, 3, and.
See you later. Thank you.
Within families, good law.
I'm doing family.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Good afternoon.
Okay. My next strong thing, so I look at everybody on the so from beginning, please put your cell phone on silent and then this opportunity. First, we like to say that invite yet, who invite yet to join, so please come with us there. I saw we have 2 of you here today, right?
Yes, let's go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lien. My SMB is really so if I actually Anita asked him to come here. He said Christina will share to you something. So I text him, I said, when you come to the office and we will share something to you that might be helpful to you. So he said, okay, I will come. So he come and I was there.
So, we're always in the Philippines.
Yes,
How many white guests?
It's so cool. You know, that's the our team goal. Even your leader not here, Melinda not here, but Christina can stand up and I can see recently our teams go up. Out, right? Keeps dividing again and get the 10 out. That's we should learn from her. Okay, the next I think one more people forward for the not here.
She says the big one.
The next is licensing. Licensing. So anybody take exam, no money, no license, no money, who goes to take exam and be card or something?
Yes.
You said, this my business partner is with that. I did my second ethics already. That's Saturday, so I passed that one. So I am working on it with another yeah, the second one. So I'm working on it. Hopefully I can be able to do tonight or tomorrow night if, I have to be back to the project on weekends. So that's it, so I did two already, and, that will possible.
Something in the past, something, and then next door. Okay, anybody else want to do that? The other team, you're getting up here. What? They are not here, so you sound okay. My name is Maling Lama, my business partners and Lien. How's that?
Indeed.
So, yeah, I have three. What do you? I have four of them that I know that right now, usually took the the ethics already, she's going for AML, and then Google is scheduled for provincial. The governor, I think it's 7 or something like that, so very long for, actually, he both for provincial, and the rest are all in under LLB. But I have four of them sort of in the pipeline, so that's. That means you will get a lot of the right future.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's. Okay, licensing, card, and now helping family. You want,
No, first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Good morning, everyone.
Okay.
So my name is Ken Selvin and my business partner is El Saman. So what happened is on the last 2 days, right? So I've been meeting some clients. So one of my clients is our return client wherein we are trying to fix everything from finance because she has a lot, and I'm trying to melting down her RRSP. Because as we know that the training of liquid before, we do not know what will happen, right? If you are having a lot of money on your RRSP, if something happens to you, all that RRSP will be taxable. So why not teach them how to melt it down while they are alive, while their tax rate are maybe 15 or 21%, which is lower than 50%, right? So I've been trying that and review all her finances, and I say that the reason why we are a little bit delayed because I need to see what is able with her, how much room that she has on the TFSA. So she came here yesterday, and when we checked everything, I learned that she only have 6. It's good that I just put 35,000 before without knowing anything. And by the time I reviewed yesterday, she has only 31,000 room. So I put already the 25, but we're supposed to have, we have 50,000 to move. But I'm glad that I just done that half it. And then now I just transferred another 6,000 because that's the room, 31,000. So we do not want to be penalized because of over maximizing the limit, right? So that's what we did. So she has the RRSP. I'm trying to move it to the life series for that because I'm sure that in our company the money can grow more than what is in the bank, right? And then I wanted to put it a life series where if there's a guarantee the amount that she will be getting in the future, right? And then another client is I have 2 clients before, husband and wife, wherein I processed the application on the insurance protection. But the problem is after this is the 2nd month already, because first is they asked them to have a paramedical. So the paramedical is done. And then I waited again for how many weeks? They asked again EPS. And then something that I said that they are doing EPS. Of course, EPS is we need to do another action immediately because 2 things might happen. They might be, or 3 things, because they might be written, they might be declined, or they will be approved, right? But the thing that I'm worried is after the EPS is they are asking again, it's like the physician should be the one to an endorsement to the insurance company. Wherein, oh my God, after the EPS, after the blood works, it's still they cannot decide. And now they are waiting for the doctor. That's why I went yesterday, even though it's unplugged everything. The PO is in the Philippines, but I need to do this before the result of whatever decision will come out. So I process them only because making sure that they are paying lower money, right? I process them under Access Life, but they are immediate plus, right? So I processed yesterday, but because of the availability of the PO, because the parent of the mother-in-law of the PO is died with Paco, that's why she need to go home. But and I've been waiting last night for her to sign as a PO, and then I suddenly accidentally want to cancel all the signatures because I'm waiting because that document is trying to sign, it's already expired. I didn't know that it did not expire. The husband, which I did not cancel the signature, she signed it and it was approved already. But the wife, I need to go back maybe tomorrow to let that the insured to sign, but the PO signed already. So that's what I did for the example.
Hi, my name is Nava.
Hello, Nava.
This week I have to one of my family, my client, we had worked policy long ago, and it was that time, the husband and wife, they joined policy, and also the son was small, so, but they were married, and the father was something. Now, this is last month, it will be 16. So I need to change this small German small when they have kids, there's they consider against the after 16, we need to change the I was thinking this thing. I asked them, so we can be just with them. And sit with them and review their policy. They were so happy because their husband and wife, they have bunch of cash inside, as you can hear. And we treat this matter in this son's policy, because he gets something like 100,000. I asked them to can increase it even under 500,000. They said 250,000. We will buy. So I can increase the cases, so I was I will new one for given. Now we have 300. So that's one thing, and another one is one of my associates here. She was here talking about she learns what she believes in this business, really this insurance and investments. So even she is not telling, but she has some knowledge. So the son is getting driver's license, and he got for insurance with that car insurance. The car insurance was high. So she asked her son, he is working part-time, you need to pay $300 per month for insurance. So the son is good, he pay every 3 months, $300 for insurance. She put that $300 in a piggy bank for 2 years now. She has money. So she called me, what can I do? This one, I said, put it in the creative service, where for you. She planned the money to pay. So she doesn't want to take this money. So that's what. So she put it in creative service in your name and pays for the insurance. Then she called me, and then I put $5,000 CFSA on market. So it's a good investment. So whether you come here, you learn, the knowledge is better. Even you are doing the business, you're not staying in the business. Whatever you learn here is very good for you have to some other. So that's what I mean.
Good afternoon again. My name is Christina Morgan. My business partner is Delivery Soren. So I think last week I had one sale. We give life insurance to one of Ate Melinda's JP. It's not it, but it's having soon
So I give him life insurance and
Wow.
so $300.
That's good. Even though, but- Anybody else want to share about helping people? You know, once the one become the help or like. Sorry.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Antonio Beracana, I'm the business partner. Somebody doesn't want me to tell Terry, because Terry is not part of the company. So it's actually Johnny, but it's supposed to be. Yeah, anyway, since if you have clients in segregated funds, I'm actually resetting all my clients, everybody gave me money. So all my appointments, all my segregated funds is with equitables, and everybody actually gave money. So we are resetting everything. So if you have an insurance, like an LLC license or an insurance for insurance, if you have if you have a license for insurance, you can actually do segregated funds for it because it's actually very good. And then one more thing I want to share with you is I actually wrote a policy just same as Nala. She's actually part of the LNG. She's licensed, but she's not doing the business as often. So she felt like it would be better for me to think of what insurance I can give. So this is Fatima. Fatima, she's a member, she's part of my team. She actually has a license, but she's not doing the business regularly, so she feels like I can do better for her. So she has a lot of mental issues already. So I was asking her, so can you actually apply for a temporary one? I mean, for the regular life insurance, or do you have to do the guaranteed one? She has, and then she was saying, I have a lot of mental issues, so she's too guaranteed. So guaranteed, we have three, right? We actually have Everest, we have the access for access life or lesser alliance, and then you have the kind of that you say. So just sat down and answered all the questions, right? And she actually was able to say to a qualified, as we actually answered all of those questions, it actually becomes cheaper. Right? She's qualified for both intermediate, but then from there, and then you will see which one is cheaper than the other, because it's the same coverage. So I always try both because I cannot figure out which one's just answer both questioning, right? So for her, the CPP is $10 cheaper for the same coverage. So we actually take this fee. And then I know very well, sometimes we're surprised, or sometimes even your clients don't know that they have medical conditions and you will just find it out during underwriting, right? So CPP once told us that if you're not sure about it, just apply for CPP, so we're sure they get a coverage, right? And then you can apply for a regular insurance and you can qualify, you can always cancel CPP, right? Because once you're in decline, some of them will have a question from this been fighting for the past 1 year or something like that, then you cannot get CPP anymore, or you cannot get another learning issue. So we want to make sure, right, that everything, because some clients don't even understand how it works, right? I have another client, it's a husband and wife. The husband's term policy is expiring and it's going to be very expensive. So I actually I did not like the term policy. They were just asking about that insurance. So I actually encourage them to get a term 100 because they don't want any investments, right? So a term 100, and then we did a combination, we layer it in other term policies to actually get a bigger coverage of the work, right? And then my wife also has a term policy that expires 6 years from now. So I'm saying that earlier you do it, and then you put another term for yourself, and then just click on everything else. So maybe. So you do the application process, that's the only time that you don't get the right or study also right? And we're in the middle already. So we actually submitted, she was approved, but it's actually 50% rate. Right? I know, but I always tell my client, rating is better than nothing. You're actually way better than they are getting a policy because if we have billions of dollars, you have so much money. But you cannot get a policy, then sorry, you don't have actually benefit for your family, right? So it's actually so
We don't know, but the moment we actually think about this stage or we find out about this, it's hepatitis B is not that bad, and other medical conditions, we would actually have a hard time getting the regular insurance policy. So just to let everybody know, we have the issue. They're a bit expensive, but at least not. Right? Some of them don't even need a big amount. And I get you, even the questionnaire for the guaranteed one actually changes. My mom qualified for Everest long time ago, because, but now with the new questionnaire, she will not be able to qualify. Right? So it changes also. So the thing is, we really have to go up there, tell them what we do, and then ensure people will see something.
Liver problem?
What? It's media.
Liver.
Because you're increasing the party of liver cancer.
Okay, and that's a good information for them to learn, right? I'm also like, subjectively, the you have, high and on, secretary and judgment. Same to me, I would like we have follow up every year and reset every year equitable life. If I have all my clients equitable life, if I like the way like we reset every year. So special now, this year, the investment annually go up, but might be next year or year follow will be reset again. So let them reset this year now. Okay. Anybody want to share now more about your happy people? No? Okay. So I would like to, as a time's up, so now I would like to invite one, announce.
It's okay.
Any,
So maybe you can just, you want us to discuss about the summit, if you want. Okay. What we discussed there in the business one.
oh, Christmas happy.
The summit,
Summit, okay, on the next summit on November 15th, we will have the summit, join with that team together here on Saturday. So everybody welcome, invite your guest to come and see how we work, right? And the next recognition with Lien on.
So I think the Jeremy not just updated this one. We have the launch on February. So for those who registered, please submit your name so that we have copy.
That's just not to submit for February or lunch. No, we already started. So anybody not ready to go to February, then please be registered now.
Yes.
I hope we will see all you are here. See that, you know, if we don't have money to go to the United States, then join here, right? Like, we're in the lunch here, we should join together, right? You know?
Yeah, please submit your name.
Yes.
I don't know why it's-
Possible for the price go up.
Yeah.
Poland, please contain from October and March, so start for this month until March. If you make minimum 30,000 and 10 base shop recording, you get 900 reimbursed. So please work for it. I'm working with that too.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now I any more? Okay, now we go to main training. And I'm privileged to introduce one of our best trainers in our office, and he's very knowledgeable, and I hope everybody sit down and listen to him. Please give a big hand welcome, Mrs. Really, step from our chair.
Today I'm gonna talk about our business has three parts to it, right? One part is the technical portion. One is the technical portion, because I have a technical portion of the insurance and all that things, etc. And we have provided teach that. Next portion is the system itself, which also talks about how to build your business. But I think one of the most important parts of business is you have to do a mentoring. And I always focus on mental development because I think that's a very important part of business, the mental development. Okay. So the first thing is, what you're wrong. Is think about properly respect yourself. Because it's not, if you don't respect you, nobody's going to respect you. So first of all, look in the mirror and say, hey, how do I respect myself? Number one. And you have to have confidence in yourself before you're going to actually have confidence in other people. So number one is that stop looking for who's not looking for you. Right? It's important. Number two, stop begging. When you approach people and talking to people, don't beg them because you have an opportunity, you have a great opportunity. If they like it, they want to, they respond and say, yes, I'm interested in that. Okay. And so I usually ask people right up front. And I ask them a very simple question. Listen, what I'm offering to you, like, you know, like, so tell me the truth. Don't like me. I don't waste your time on my time. Just tell me the truth. Are you interested? Yes or no? They say, no, not a problem. I'm okay with it. If you're interested, let's see what we can meet and get together and share the opportunity. Number three, stop saying more than is necessary. Because sometimes, you know, we talk too much, especially on social media. Get social media, and people talk a lot on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, social media is no secrets. Because everybody can get on social media and can run here and check. Because I get phone calls sometimes and people get my information on social media. That's why I limit Facebook a lot. I talk a lot and I converse a lot on WhatsApp and on Facebook so much because Facebook is more social media. When people disrespect you, confront them immediately. Don't let people put you down or say something to you that you don't agree with and tell you about something. Confront them. Don't be afraid to confront them. Even your spouse or your kids. If you confront them because you have to have that confidence in yourself and you know, okay, what you're doing is right. Now, when kids, when you have young children as teenagers, it's very sensitive how you deal with them. Because you don't want to put them down and you want to be able to not converse with you. You want them to converse with you and talk to you. But you listen to them, etc. Because we are, if you have kids in the contract era, between 12 and 18 years old, they're not so sure who they are. And you have to help them to process themselves. I have one right on the last child is going to teenage and I just say, guidance and all that. Okay. Number 5, don't eat other people's food more than they eat yours. So that's important. I'll tell you why. You see, some people will say they invite you over, and then when you go over there, you eat a ton of food, and then they say, she eats all this food, when you go to her house, she never gives too much food. Now, that's the same in all nationalities, because in the Philippine nationality, no one everybody is always lots of food. Okay, same as in the Caribbean, they all offer lots of food, and then get much of income, right? And that's why China we have in the business, so that, like in our office here, for example, we have different nationalities, and that doesn't happen among all nationalities. But be careful as you can shop. Remember, it's important, okay? You see if it still works. Oops, it does work. Okay, number 6. We lose how we visit some people, especially if they don't reciprocate. Now, that can happen with families or friends, for example. Because some family members, and we all say that the worst people is that a family member don't like you and they are making an issue. And yeah, every family has that sometimes. You always find the one who's different. And you go to a family function, immediately and goes, oh my God, he's here, she's here. It happens. It's part of life itself. It does not know how to deal with that. Okay. Number 7, invest in yourself, make yourself happy. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody's going to make you happy except you. You have to make you happy. So believe in yourself and know what makes you happy. Okay. Number 8, stop entertaining gossip about other people. Because I'll tell you something. The people you gossip with is the one who would betray you on the other hand. Okay, you tell them certain things and you say, well, this is in confidence, and then go tell somebody else about you. And he's gossiping, me behind my back. So be very careful. Be very careful when you trust a person. Especially when you put them on social media, it's in writing, so you can't say, well, it's in social media. Very, very careful. Number 9, think before you talk. 80% of how people value you is what comes out of their mouth. So when you go talk to a client or a prospect or a downline or a friend, for example, you be very careful what you say. Because what you say, you can't take it back. It's gone. So you be very careful what you say. If you're not so sure, don't say anything. That's my philosophy. If you're not so sure, don't say anything now. So be very careful. Number 10 is always look your best, dress the way you should, address. Because important that especially if you're in the financial business and you go to certain functions, people watch you when you come in and you look at how you dress. And sometimes they approach you because you dress a certain way. So make sure you dress as a professional. Okay. Number 11, be an achiever, get busy with your goals. So ladies and gentlemen, I always say there's a couple things in life you can't buy. One is health. You can't buy health, no matter how much money you got. Number 2, you can't buy love, no matter how much money you got. So those two things are important in your life as you go on. So the people that love you, or you love, you're going to value those people as your friends and your family, etc. And value yourself. It's important. Number 13, number 12, respect your time. My wife always tells me I give up my time too much and I should charge people for my time. I said that's part of me giving back to society after the people. I give up my time sometimes. I give advice. I give people different things. And she says, I'm so much of a giver. I said, I've learned one thing in life. The more you give, the more you get. My father taught me something since I was quite young. He says, son, something you get from this bank, and you don't get it from the same bank. You get from a different bank. But if somebody will call you investor to somebody else, and you get a gift something back from somebody else. So don't get rid of it. It's okay. Those in a relationship where you don't feel respected and valued, walk away. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still in a relationship that you're not important to you, not valued, then eventually your self-confidence will drop. When self-confidence drop, you as an individual, when you think about yourself, will drop. I always say, whatever goes into your head goes through the conscious mind. But whatever goes into your conscious mind is filtered in the subconscious mind. And the reaction that you react when something happens from your subconscious mind. So I tell my wife, for example, she drives and she's always complaining about the way people drive, etc. I said, see, let's think of 7 million people, not everybody's a great driver. Sometimes they cut you off without being signal. I said, well, don't fight with them because maybe they leave that way. If you keep on fighting them, eventually what happens, it goes to your conscious mind and it goes to your subconscious mind. And when something happens to you, you have to react. And your conscious mind will react, it's your subconscious mind that reacts. So you have to be very careful when you're in your conscious mind, and in your subconscious mind, that's what's important to you, what's in your subconscious mind. So you're very careful. I've always said also, 90% of the thing that you think about is what happens to you. So be careful when you think. Don't think negative, but don't make things happen. You think, oh, I'm going to get sick. You're going to get sick. You get your consciousness. Very, very careful. Okay. Number 14, learn to spend money on yourself. That's how people will learn to spend money on you. And something you see, I remember when I was much younger and you meet ladies, for example, you're on a date and you watch them how they present themselves, etc. And you spend money on them because they spend money on themselves. Right? It's normal. So my daughter is now, my last child is now 14 years old, and my wife and I say that you don't teach her how to present herself as an individual. Because when you present yourself, people respect you when you teach people how to say. Doesn't mean you have to make a connection. That's important. But you must present yourself with confidence and okay. Same with men. Because I was reading about what does women look for in a man, what does men look for in a woman. It's interesting. I'm not talking about it, but it's interesting that you look it up and see. Very interesting. And I'm going to be this case sometimes. Because you see, sometimes, for example, with family members, especially if you're scarce, then they'll say, well, and then they'll call you, and you'll see the ones who are interested. Because they'll call you, hey, where have you been? I haven't seen you, I haven't talked to you for a while. It could be old friends, it could be friends. So sometimes it's good to be scarce and close, and you'll see who's interested as well. Okay. Be a giver more than a receiver. As I said before, the more you give, you give again. Okay. Now, number 17. Don't know where you're not invited, and when invited, don't overstay your welcome. It's very important because sometimes, especially family members or good friends, you go visit them and they say, why is he not leaving? Why is she not leaving? You have to know. You have to be very confident about leaving. And you did smile, but you make the time of saying treat people exactly the way they deserve. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to respect people and treat people the way they deserve. And you have to respect that and people respect themselves. Number 19, accept they owe you money. 2 car attempts are enough. If they value you, they will return your car. I don't know if you've ever called and returns and you call them once or twice and they don't call you back and then you call them back and they will call you back. Forget them. That means you're not interested. Or you text them on WhatsApp or wherever you text them and they never respond. It means that they're not interested. So why should you keep in touch with them? Value yourself. That hey, if I'm important to it, they'll call you back and they'll respond back to you. Okay. And number 20, develop what you do. Be your best. Ladies and gentlemen, by doing these things, you care for yourself and you value yourself. The number one thing that has to happen is that you got to value yourself first, and then you can value others. Right? Okay. Now, I want to share with you about ability because sometimes people they look at the company and say, like, the company involved is the best company you can. And which is 6 reasons why. Number 1, we have revolutionary products. A strong company must outperform traditional products. Do you know the W2 we have products and other insurance company offers to the US? We have some very unique products that we have from Ivari, from other companies. They only just for WFG. That is why they have special agents just for WFG to train WFG interns team. My wife was, as my son was at their board, I said, oh, they're aware of that. So I said, listen, we've products in the one this house. It's designed just for us. So we have revolutionary products. You must save people money and time and be competitive. And I hear it all when I get people like you. It must be designed to meet our current and future needs. As you know, our providers, they're always constantly updating their products to make sure that the products people can live up to standards and we do the best for us. So remember a long time back before we never had share insurance and etc. But now it's important that we share that with people. Okay. Number 2. So that was revolutionary part. Revolutionary compensation. Some people don't understand our compensation system. They don't realize that we have points. We don't have just annual premium to get paid and points and an annual premium itself. So number 1 is multiple types of income. You must allow to build your overheads in a large organization. Right? You must allow unlimited width. WFG can recruit as much as you want to buy. There's no limit. Which is a good thing. Some companies want to release what you can where we have 4, 5, 5, you can't really go deeper. One of the good things is that you can follow wide availability. You can have 100 SMB if you want. That's your personal choice. Okay. You must pay 5 generations on our products, and that's what nobody will pay down to 5 generations on the trip. Okay. You must have territorial boundaries. In Canada, once you have license in Ontario, you can sell across the nation once you get licensed on companies laws. But it used to be that, for example, if somebody's from Quebec and they come to visit Ontario, you can sell one in Ontario store. That's changing, but I think you still can. So if you have someone from like a Quebec citizen who's traveling to Ontario, if they're in Ontario, you can sell one here. I think they still can, right?
No.
No.
I think that's been.
You change it? No. So means you don't get licensed in different provinces, but you see to get licensed, at one point I was licensed in all provinces except Quebec. Okay, Quebec have a separate exam. If you want to get, for example, licensed in Alberta, you can't just pay the fees and you're covered. They can insurance covers you and you can just pay your fees and get licensed. So you don't have to travel in the United States. So you have to write the place. Okay. 2 is B is residual type income. You must have more than most parties and what we do have. And you have trade commissions also in that we have general continuing commissions. Now, at one point, I joined WFG back in 1997. After 4 years, I left the company. Even though there was still training compensation, after 20 years, there was still getting compensation. When I come back, I get more because some of the people who were with me before they quit. When the company rolled up to the side, get commission, and you said to me, that's amazing. After 20 years, you said the compensation of some products. And I still, so then I mentioned my wife and said, I get compensation. She goes, that's amazing. And that's what things you must understand. You're building a business of your own that pays for a long period of time. And the more people you have, the better it is with compensation. Look at other girls, he gets compensation all the time. That's what it gets nice. Number three is a revolutionary building system. So we talk about products, we talk about compensation, we're going to talk about the building system itself. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, you must have a computer in the back office system with capacity to handle everything, and WFG has it. Think of it this way. When you pay your fees on a monthly basis, some people ask, well, why do I pay a monthly fee? The company does everything for you. They track all your recruits, they track all your commissions, they track all your sales, they track your download, they track all your download sales, they track everything for you. For 28,000 a month, that's what more do you want? Come on. If you want to go build your own system, you're going to cost you $1,000 a month to maintain it. In here, if it's 28,000 a month, it's just at 4,000. It's 4,000. In the back office. It just runs continuously. Everything is there, can access it anywhere you want to. Just go on there, access it. So it's a phenomenal back office system. Number two, you must have a turnkey marketing system. We have videos, we have manuals, we have a book, we have everything available to us. So you don't have to go and reinvent anything, ladies and gentlemen. Swan has books up and explain this whole process to people. If you're new, buy one of those books and read at least one chapter per day. You will learn the business extremely well. But the system is there. You have to invent the system. The system is there, you have to learn the system itself. That's like if you have a job. You didn't learn it in day one. As a nurse, for example, you don't learn it in day one. You learn the system as you go. And you learn certain things, and things change sometimes in your life. It happens. Okay. Number three, must be designed by approval winner with an incredible track record. I don't know how much you guys know, Swan has been in business for over 28 years. It didn't happen by accident. You can really stand up, keep learning about the insurance business, learning about building, but he's built a business and he's the number one builder in all of Canada. So in all of the Western Canada. We should be lucky that we're part of his team because he's the number one. He knows all the ins and outs, he knows all the mistakes, he knows what will happen to you, he knows it all. So one question, he built the system, it's there. Just follow the system. And I notice every year he upgrades the system. Now it's the GX system. It's phenomenal if you just follow it. Now I calculate that a compensation system based on the GX system is unreal. You know, as an SME, you can make $1 million a month, $1 million a year. As just an SME, you don't have to be a CEO. We just have to. If you have 6 theories, 6 essays, and 6 MDs, and they're doing the GX every month, you make $1 million a year. Easy. And I did it for 1, 3, 6, and 9. And so much money you make. You should calculate it. Next time I'm trying to share that with you. It's amazing how much money you make. So we're about incredible food system on the water. Okay. Now, number 4 is leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things in the industry and people pay for now, basically, to find the right leadership, teaching and training. We have the best. And that's why I kind of say what people with a function. So a function with a function, let's say you paid $50 or $100. You have the best people in the industry who teach you and train you. What's $50 or $100 with a function? People also say, well, you know, they're charging too much to come with a function. You're a business owner. You expect it to be free. You have to pay for it. That's a business owner. Now, here you come in here, everything is free to you if you're an SMD. The SMD pays for it, nothing is free. Every SMD in this office contributes financially to be able to keep this office up and running. But you come in as you're not an SMD, you don't see cost or anything, you get coffee, you get all these things. It's not free. Somebody's paid for it and the SMD is paid for it. So as you get there, you realize you have to pay, ladies and gentlemen, because leadership is there. You must have vision leadership with expensive and need into the future. That's what Swan and Steve does. Okay. Number 2, you must have a mastermind alliance of key people from the field. That is why you see we have meetings every Saturday where the MDs come together at 1 o'clock, the SMD come together at 1 o'clock, and the mastermind and think about what's going to happen. We're already having Christmas parties already in plan. If you get done by accident, it has to be planned. That's where you have leadership that comes in and all the same sport. Okay. Number 5 is ownership. Ladies and gentlemen, which business can you go to invest $150 and become an owner of a business? None. I've been in many businesses myself. I tell you, most businesses, it take you at least a couple $1,000 to put the website together. And to maintain the certificate, emails, etc. Never mind, WFG coming and from day one, you come in, you have a backup system set for you, you have a system set for you, and it will become an SMD, you become an owner. So if you're an SMD, push hard to become an SMD, and that's when ownership kicks in when you're an SMD. Because with that SMD ownership, you can pass on to your kids, the spouse, whoever you want to pass on the business to, or you can sell it. Agnes, her kids will grow up, they're not interested in the business. What happened? She sold a business for almost. What did she start with? Just like you? Dr. Dula, just under $100 a month, I think had cost of your own company, but she built business over time. You think about it. Was Agnes a very strong person in the field, in doing insurance, etc.? No. I don't think Agnes actually ever went to see a client and work a business. Because Malusa and Jensen didn't know how to make the proposal, but Agnes will put sign time. So if you're giving your bishop, for example, you don't need the sales, you don't have to say, they need someone to check for right on the case. They don't want to spend it. One, they will on, and two, they make someone instead of stick around. I get my own rights. Well, let know that. Okay. But obviously, and so she was this very strong responsibility, but I tell what she was to an exceptionally good leader. I call her servant leader, where she put that in place to lead with people. And she was all listening to people. And I think I have one set of parts of the house. Okay. So ownership is important. You must have the chance to be part of something bigger than yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, WFG is the biggest business in the whole industry in North America. The biggest. We have about 75 licensed agents. 10 which company can even come close. Not even close. The largest one is that what's the big organization in Toronto? We got about 3,500 people licensed. Not even close to us. In Canada, we have 25,000 licensed people. In the actual company, you think Israel, what you want to do, why don't you lose all the 25,000 people? Plus, we are owned by Eagle. Eagle have billions and billions of dollars in assets. If anything happens, we can have 25 lawyers that will meet with Israel and negotiate. So when I started business back in 97, that's what I did. I made sure on the investment side, our lawyer had an office in the same office as the Ontario State Police Commission. Why? It's not by accident. Because we had a problem with securities. If you're a lawyer and I'm with Facebook, for example, we can elevator, we can coffee shop, we become friends. You know that works in life. The more people you know, the relationship with them. So if I had a problem, I go talk to my friends. You make it more way. They erase it. Is that how life works? The same thing. So you have to plan things and put things in place. That is what we said, gentlemen. You have to have a very good relationship with your SMB. The SMB makes our decisions on your behalf. And you can make things go away. Or you can make things happen. So you have to learn that. Okay. Number two, you must recognize that the Forbes 500 became wealthy through equity position in their company, and you have the chance to do the same. In WFG, when you do production, you can get equity position in the company, gets stocks and shares in WFG itself, which is a phenomenal thing. A lot of people don't know that. So that's something we'll teach them. Maybe they're not training in that one day to teach them how that actually works. I know Gina already did that the last couple of months. She got some shares in the company itself. Okay. And the last one is timing. Timing in life is everything. Must recognize that the great wealth transfer over 10 trillion in the next 20 years and be able to capture the fair share in the Canadian and help the Canadians to become better. We call them the people born between 1964, they're now in Canada. When they retire, they have tons of money. They're going to pass on to the kids. Well, it might be equity in their home or facilities. Like I think that you were talking about, if a person of an RSP is time to transfer into a TFSA. It makes sense. If my wife was asking that yesterday, how does a TFSA renew? So I explained to her how it goes. Then they say, right up in an RSP, which you will need this one, with the TFSA is tax-free. And then you can put almost 100,000 here. Then with the TFSA, you've been income since 2009, you can put almost 100,000 in the TFSA, and it all goes tax-free. A TFSA, ladies and gentlemen, is an investment. It's a vehicle, like a container which you put investments. So you can put a set fund into the TFSA and it goes tax free. You take it out, money comes on tax free. So I asked my exams, and number one thing was doing an investment, put it into a TFS first. If you're over 16 years old, put that TFS will get tax free. It's the same set fund, but there's not an RSP in a TFS. If you want tax deduction, we'll get the later charity. It's much better than a hardship too. You will reduction, yeah. You save a ton of money. And your tax guys will tell you. Okay? It's important to understand. You must present the lack of security most Kenyans have with their jobs to determine the future offering a business opportunity. Because ladies and gentlemen, as you see, like in our work, over 9,000 people are working in oil industry. One of the biggest companies in the US, after 122 years just filed, bankruptcy and they're closing their doors. Look at the one we have in Canada. It's closed down. I think companies are closing because of what has happened to Mr. Donald Trump.
Hudson Bay is now flossing.
Hudson Bay is closed. What are you talking about? Give 100% to it. All of your company. So that's happening with other alternatives on opportunity to have their own business. You think WFG ever was closed? The answer is no. They have it with money. If you go check, Aegon is the largest financial company in the world by period. Did they close? No. You know who their biggest revenue stream is? When most going to come from Aegon is WFG. Which they make the most profits from this. Why do they put so much money into the system to train and teach people because it's their biggest revenue stream in never close. So you think about the industry that's going to last forever. Ladies and gentlemen, they took into a must learn in life is this. How to manage money, how to manage relationships. 98% of your problems in those two categories, how to manage money, how to manage relationships. Is that true?
Yes.
I don't know if this lady's name. What's your name?
Yes.
Tess. Tess, have you met before?
Yeah.
We met before?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember if I met before. I can't remember spoke to her earlier today. I can't remember before. But I'll tell you something. The ex-president of what he's not the ex-president, he is the competitive leader of Jamaica was in Canada last October. He was the president, he invited me to meet. So I went to the meeting and he was saying us a lot of things and then he said, anybody have a question? I said, Minister, can I ask you a very simple question? Which two things in your life have been the most comes in your life so far? He looks at me really strange. I said, Minister, we have not met each other, correct? He said, no, I don't even know your name. I said, well, I'll tell you what they are. How to manage money, how to manage relationships. So how do you know that? I said, because it's the same for all human beings. No matter where you're born, no matter where you're from, how you manage money, how you manage relationships. Why do you think the financial industry in Canada don't teach you how to manage money in schools or in universities? You know why? Because they want to control you. Because if you can't manage your money, somebody else controls you. They have it in their hands. When they become your own money manager, now you control yourself and control your own future. So it's important that people understand and join those business. Whether they come back or not, it doesn't matter. When you join the business, but they're going to control your money as a company. Okay? So it's simple. Number 3, the Senate to help Kenyans become debt-free, especially in the mortgage and related tax efficient. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things in Canada is taxes. The taxman will try to get the hands in your pocket at $10. Well, I'm trying to put the best tax down my side of it at Gilmore. He worked at CRA for 25 years. When he left CRA, he's able to start Canada 109 and manage Canada 100 for plus 15 years. And he taught me some very simple things. And I said, well, it's Ed, you got to teach him as much as you know. So I want to get my son who's now 22. I'm trying to get Ed to teach him because, ladies and gentlemen, the things he have to learn through life. Being in CRA, in the back room and see what they're doing to people. You know why I have him as my accountant? They put him on there, like one line, I put him as my accountant online. As soon as I hear his name, they back right off. Because they know he knows all the secrets. So they can't lie to him and they can't fool him. So if you have a tax problem, you put him on there and they see his name on there, they back right off. They're going to know he knows all the tricks, a lot of tricks. So they can't do that. And you're not taking more into clients right now, but if I recommend somebody, you might take them and help. Because he's now 83 years old, about to, he's retired, but he's still part of our team. Okay. I think we haven't here one thing speaking one day. So ladies and gentlemen, I actually said, we're so lucky to have an opportunity on hands like that. So my question is, what are you waiting for? I asked myself that same question too. What am I waiting for? Number one, for Christmas. Christmas comes and goes every year. What do you like now? Number two, maybe a manna from heaven. You already have that. God bless you. Number three, maybe you'll do for a rich man or a rich woman. Think something though. I forget the name now. As a Chinese lady used to come in WFG. She came in over 20. I think it was 2001, 2002. She was living in Canada. She came in with the same name as Italy. I forget her name now. Chinese lady, and she was in her flat. Okay. No, Lisa, she was here. Eh? No, Teresa Dan is here. No, this is from the US. She's from Canada to expand business. So I asked her one day, and because she gave me her episode, I was there, and she said to me one day, she said, Hassan, the toughest thing in my business is to find someone who takes like me. You think about it. If you're so level in WFG, let's say you become a CEO and you're single, to find a man or a woman that think like you is very, very simple. So you have to have your spouse get caught up with you in your thinking so you're on the same level. Because when you build big and you think a certain way and they can't think like you, relationship will never work. It's too far. It's too much distance. Because even though you come here, you have build big, but your thinking has changed, you're thinking like about God or something. It's very hard to have a spouse that'll think like you. And to find somebody in that relationship. So that's what I told her, go find somebody in that relationship who think like you. And you can get married to them. And that's what she did.
Is that about me?
If one day, that's the name.
Which is clear, right?
Yeah.
No, it's satisfied people.
Oh.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, these are things important in our business, not just building business, you have to look at the future. Because no matter how much money you make, you can't get a relationship, you can't buy it. You have to have somebody to think like you and focus on it. Okay? That's why I got my wife license. So she can think. Right. I got my son license. So we can take over the business. Now he's 24 years old, there's somebody gone parking, God's friend and whatever. But he'll come along with it, right? Now we just go back and make some post when he comes back to state. Okay. And number 4, you win the lottery. My grandfather died at 103 years old. And from the most 10 years old, he was born after the case, never won it. Are you going to win? God bless you.
Okay, I have the same number since 1988. I'm playing the same.
Never won.
I know, I got 65, I got 150, I think that's not good. I don't want to stop putting that in. I don't want to stop playing the same number. Because I don't want to kill myself.
Okay. I'm going to share some of this with you.
Pinasayanan. Ako, hindi ako nangyayari. Because I see a lot of retired people leave, and it's good, but it might be your turn. Yeah, I do. Yeah. No more money. I don't think I was enjoying it. I don't think so about being good. You want money, no one will know. The next how many millions of despair. I think I spend $6 a day. But the next go, like to as a job, but I don't want to come again. I can't go down. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. So I think you're.
So I'm going to share some screen picture. I mean, if you guys want to take pictures, you can take pictures. That's what I think. Then put them next to remember. First of all, your ethics in life. You see, I tell my kids, I don't care who you marry. That's your personal choice who you're going to marry. Make sure there's 3 things that must line up.
Yeah.
Ethics, morals, and values. If those 3 things are lined up, you have no issues in your relationship. So I said, so my son is dating a girl right now, and I said, kind of is the ethics, non-violence, is that right? I said, it's very simple. You put a plus and a minus. Put all the pluses and put all the minuses. If there's no more minus than plus, run as fast as you can. It's part of life. Because, I mean, I don't want people to say, you know, I'm trying to teach them things that I learned the hard way, in my view. Because I was married before once. And when I got, when we got separated and I got, my second wife came in, I made sure I had all the points done. And she had to check. And that would be pluses before I married. Because you learn from your mistakes. That would- I mean, making a mistake once is okay, but make it twice. Okay. So first of all, before you pray, believe. People always say, well, it's a mistake. Believe it. Then come before or see. Which one comes first? You have to see, you have to believe, you see. Before you see your business growing, you have to believe it's first of all. If you believe it, it will happen because it goes in your subconscious mind and that will come in your afterwards. Number two, before you speak, listen. That is why here, you know, we have training sessions the way when you come in here, it's time the devil can start speaking. Like Tessa was telling me she's afraid of the speaking in public. I tell my first biggest experience. When I joined the company, the guy came to my house with a presentation, right? That is, I joined from American before I'm a license, the chief. So he came to my house with a presentation, he said, he's got some guys here. He said, about 10 guys. I mean, I was in the supplements and stuff like that. Then like some guy needs a presentation. After he done the presentation, and all the guys, they all joined. Now, I didn't know the secret that I was supposed to get 6 Y and whatever. He never told me. He came a second time that week. That presentation, I had about another 17 guys in there, and then they all joined the business. So he said to me, okay, we'll have one more next week, but I'm leaving the presentation here with you so you can study it. I never knew he's going to have me do it the third time. So the third time, about maybe 10 minutes before the presentation, he comes and says, you do the presentation today, I'm too busy, I'm not coming. Wait, tricky. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing the presentation and I'm sweating. Because in my very first media presentation, I was sweating. When I joined WFG in 1997, they invited me to come to Las Vegas to speak on behalf of WFG in Canada. So I went down to Las Vegas, and I never knew what it would be like. There were 20,000 people in the stadium. Now think about looking at 40 eyes, looking at you, and you're on stage, and they're going to listen to what you say. Now, is that scary? It was scary at the time. But I'm talking to people, and I said, I put myself together, I said, you know what? I just want to find 1 or 2 people look at their face and finish the whole probably. So I pick one person in the group and I'll look at them and talking as if I'm just talking to one person. It's one of the tricks that you learn in speaking. Pick one person that's friendly and smiling, like Tessa right now, and talk to them. The rest will be. But you know what happened? After my presentation, that first presentation, our office had 10,000 phone calls within the next week. People want to expand to Canada because they're all Americans and want to expand to Canada, but they live this in Canada. And that's what Canada is. Ladies and gentlemen, don't get afraid to speak. Public speaking. Come up here, volunteer to come and do training, etc. You know. Listen before you spend. You know, sometimes, you know, I mean, you know, and I remember one time I was in Tim Hortons many years ago. I'm still having a coffee and I asked all the fellows, and I'm looking for someone to spend money rather than saving. That's people I got involved in the industry. So they want to be able to spend money, not because they have something to spend money on. The same thing here. Teach them how to save their money rather than spend it. I teach my daughter, I said, Zoe, let me ask you a question. If you, I know you like Starbucks, you want to go to Starbucks, and the average year at Starbucks is like $7. Because you buy a sandwich, breakfast, you can buy about 10 to 12 bucks. I say, if you wake up 10 minutes early, you can make a sandwich, you can make a coffee, or drink whatever you want if you go to school, and it saves you $12. Now we give her a amount of money every week. I says, you make the money out and spend it in the hard way. So she makes her own drink and she makes her a sandwich to take to school. So she doesn't stop at Starbucks. Occasionally stop at Starbucks once a month, the most. But she don't know she can save money. Next thing I thought it was this, I gave her, I said, okay, here's 2 $10 bills. That's the money for the week. But give them back one. Why not? Because I want you to touch them and feed them. And by it takes diligence and it takes discipline to give it back $10. Is that correct? Okay, give you $20 to when you feed them, they're mine. Then you're gonna give them back to me. I said, why do you think you give it back to us? I can invest in your account. And I was spent. It goes into the investment. The guy have an ITF account for an interest for account. If somebody goes on, that's a trainer in one of these days. If your child have an ITF account, rather you save $1,000 a month for yourself, it goes in your account, it becomes taxable. If you put in your daughter's name or your son's name before they're 18 years old, they pay no taxes. As long as you take out the money before their 18th birthday, you're going to get the money back out. So if that money made, say, 30 to 40,000 in profits, the money comes out 100% tax free. And in her name, it goes in my name, it becomes taxable. So I put in money, she take it before she's 18 years old. And I don't want the money, it's for her. But it becomes tax free. So there's no secret that you learn as well. Okay. Number one is earn before you write. Well, that's an interesting one, right? When you're going to write business with people, I'm practicing my wife and I said, listen, when you're going to sell insurance to a client, is number one, the most important thing to the client is not life insurance, it's critical illness. Okay, tell the client, test, if something happens to you while you have a life insurance policy, it goes on to your family, just fine. But say, what happens if you get sick while you're alive? Who's going to take care of you? You have to take care of you. And that's what critical illness kicks in. You can at least pay your bills, you don't have to stress, etc. So you must have critical illness insurance. So I tie them together. I put life, I critical illness rider, and a term rider. Means that they get both coverage. But the critical illness, they'll never cancel the policy because the CI policy attached to it. So that's it. The locker to lock in the client and they won't cancel the insurance policy because CI is attached to that. It's a very easy thing to do. We've never had a cancellation. Okay. Think before you quit. All the secrets of the WFG, this I'll tell you. When somebody joins a company, you learn to fast start and say, let them put on 3 reasons they'll join WFG, right? So let's say I'm going to use Tesla again. Tesla, well, the one reason I joined the company because I want to buy a house with my money. Right? Maybe that can go. I want to buy a new car with the kids. Now, if I have those things, every time I call Tess during the week to follow up, and she says, you know, I'm thinking of quitting WFG. I said, Tess, my ask you a simple question. Have you bought the house your mother's yet? I'm not talking to her head, I'm talking to her heart. Because you see, she doesn't feel in her heart. That's the reason I want to join the company because I want to buy a house with my money. You get back to her goals. Not to the company said, you get to her goals. When you talk to her goals, you hit there, and she goes, So she thinks twice about quitting. So you have to learn the things that you work with new people. That's part of building your business that way. And to build a relationship with people. Okay? Try before you die.
No, before you die, before you die.
You see, listen, gentlemen, you have to do something about it. You just can't go into life and don't try it. You have to try. If you fail is one thing, but if you never if you fail or win unless you try. And I try to teach my kids that, hey, don't stop trying. My daughter, she's in gymnastics, right? Now she's now in the anterior team. And I said to her, Zoe, she was having a problem with the things I said. She said, Dad, I don't know if I can do this. I said, listen, you didn't give it all your best shot and haven't tried your best. She goes, well, I'm not so sure. So you go in there and you tell yourself, I am going to do this. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. 4 weeks ago, she mastered, she compares it, and she mastered it now. She says, I'm ready. Yeah. You go to the competition in December. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't give up. If you're afraid to talk to people, just go talk to people. Come on. Okay. There's some success principles that you should think about. And as I say, if you want to take pictures of these, I'm going to take pictures or something. You're the only person responsible for your success. Did you realize that? Nobody turns your success except you. It's up to you. You tell me that. You don't have to invent the wheel. WFG already have a system. You already have a back office. You have a whole system, so you have to invent nothing. There is no progress without action. If you don't act, nothing happens. Consistency always wins Focus is everything, failure is necessary. If you can't win, if you don't fail, how can you win? Just think about when you were driving. If we get a driver's license, how much time you fail before you get the license? We all should have one. So if you don't fail, you never win. You'll fail. Okay? Positivity fuels productivity. You must believe you can. Helping others is a big part of successful. Success is a journey comes in baby steps. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think about it as your kids are growing up, you think they start running? No, they're making baby steps, they'll fall, they hurt themselves, and they get up on the wall. We got kids don't give up, they get up before that, they start to crawl, then they walk in first. And some kids, they'll walk by the time they're 7 months old, some will take a year and a half. Everyone is different. Everybody comes in WFG, some will go fast and some will go slow. But there's a patience. Just encourage them, keep encouraging them. Okay? So that's important. Oops. Mark. Let's zoom out a little bit. Right? Zoom out a little bit. Oh, okay. And then we can... How do you become right in 5 days? Now, when you think about these chapters, I will see what's important in WFG. Number one, it's a become financial advocate. Number two, find out what you get to. Swan writing, it's almost a billion. These are all the job. Take control of your finances, ladies and gentlemen. If you're licensed, invest your own money. Invest your own investments so you can manage yourself. Stay with the intent to invest. Network with the rich and wealthy. That's why you go to the big functions. You meet people making $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, $10 million a year. That's why you go to the big functions. When I rejoined WFG back in 2020, I went to the convention in Las Vegas. And I was one to meet this guy that I'm not sure if you remember his name, but I was watching, he doubled his income every year. And he's now over $10 million, he's a PC. I wanted to meet him. So I went by his speech, and after he's speaking, he said, I wait till he comes out. Now the crowd was away. He said to me, sir, it's a pleasure meeting you. I like to know with people. Can I have a chat with him so often? He asked me, keen on some Swan. He said, you're investing in money. He says, I listen to Swan, I copy his system. He's at Swan's team. But he said, I copy his system, and I work for me. So listen to Swan. Okay? So, multiply your income sources. When you think about this one, for example, ladies and gentlemen, definitely, how much income sources they have? I mean, insurance and investments, your dot line, etc. There's all kinds of income you can from. Depends on what you want. I think the investments you've done, and because if you retire, you still make money when you produce. You can be on vacation, you still make money when you produce. Do you know, I was telling my son the other day, he's 22, he's license here, right? I said, Kyle, if you have 10 million on the management in seconds, you make over $100,000 a year. Guess who knows? He knows really. So I sat and I showed him all the numbers, how they make that much money. He goes, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. So he's now going to have the plans to get the investments also. Before you just talking like insurance, when you get the investments to invest into TFSAs or whatever they have. You get RSPs at the bank, you get it over, you manage the RSP. Because that's an easy to, I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. Once you have a $10 million management, you start making $100,000 a year. We don't need that. Okay? Take care of your health, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, you can't buy it. Spread the wealth. I was telling our friend here this morning, I said, we've been in for a long time. I'll tell you something that you can't buy a kind of health. So take care of your health, eat healthy. And then sometimes we have our business. Sometimes late, sometimes if you're appointments for 111 minutes. I'll try not to. I've done a long time ago to say between 11 at night and 11 in the morning, between 11 in the morning and 7 at night, you get another one. You get 10 minutes. Okay, see, your body is disposing of certain stuff during the night, it's processing stuff. So don't eat too much before 11 in the morning. So I may have a cup of coffee, but I don't drink before 11 in the morning. So you eat a big lunch, and then you have an early dinner. Now, sometimes it's not possible now to have an early dinner, it's not possible sometimes, but try to do as much as you can. If that's eat before you go, eat before you go on point. Okay? Enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, you won't continue doing it. Of course, believe in yourself is a journey. If you don't believe in it, who's going to believe in you? So my wife sometimes I drive and that's what I'm talking to myself in the mirror. Yes, I'll stand in that and say, what the hell are you doing this? And she goes, who are you talking to? I say, I'm talking to myself. She thinks I'm nuts. Who's going to talk to you best than you? So talk to yourself. Okay? 6 rules to become a millionaire.
It's you.
I thought I researched on these things, okay? Never spend more than you make. Canadians are very guilty of that because we have credit cards and max out the credit cards and spend out the money because of your feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, be very careful how much money you make. Live within your means. If you can't afford to drive a Mercedes Benz, don't buy one. Okay? Save more. Time is very precious, don't waste it. Never stop learning. God first, everything comes second. Stay on the follow more. Imagine that is what is those things that we realize and have those principles in life. So when you make a decision, you ask yourself what question would you like to make a decision? Okay? I'd like to get that number when you're rich. You get number relative, you shouldn't read it. Because think and be rich, there is somewhere in there you'll find yourself. And you could be page 2 to page 434. Nobody knows where, but everyone is totally different. So I suggest to read that for I give it to people all the time on stage. I says, desire, you have to wait or want it. Have faith in your goals. Use affirmations to program your mind. Knowledge is power, make an effort always to continue to learn. Use your imagination, visualize your success. Essentially, it's very important to visualize your success. See yourself as an SMD. See yourself as a CEO. See yourself as human. Let's see yourself. Look so. Learn to be decisive. Be persistent and learn to overcome your fear. Surround yourself with positive and good people. Choose a compact from your partner. Don't let your mind dismiss negative thoughts. Associate with smart people and absorb the teaching and your gut. One of the things I had to learn a long time back is about this my gut. I've lost major money 3 times in my life because I trust people too much sometimes. And those 3 times I lost money, I never listen to my wife. She has a knack that she meets you to tell me this person is good or bad. She has that gift. So I'll tell you, a couple of years back when I left Nigeria, I was going to start a MIC, now Marsh Investment Corporation. I met this gentleman on a faculty, and there was something about him that wasn't quite right. So I said to myself, well, what we have done to him, we will say, bring your wife, I'll bring my wife, and we'll talk. But he didn't really use anything with my wife. So I bring my wife, and all night she's kicking on the table, not this one, not this one. And I just gently, I can take the agreement and we will joke together. And when I researched the ring and I had my lawyer researching, it's the lawyer left chance to save over the leg and it's going to straighten the people by the leg without feeling it. It's really incredible. So don't you have to pick your battles and be very careful. Because I'm really watching your movies, they come and look so nice and shiny, etc. And look so positive, but hidden behind is somebody else. Be very careful. Okay. Quick book to read, I suggest you read it. How to succeed, like number 1, talk softly, eat sensible, breathe deeply, sleep sufficiently, dress smartly, act carelessly, work patiently, think brilliantly, behave decently, Earn honestly, live regularly, and spend intelligently. Now, it's a lot to cover. They can have all those things in your mind. So certainly maybe so often to remind you, you know, we're human beings are forgetting sometimes, but remind yourself every so often. Okay. Take that case productivity. And some of us are getting. Suddenly we get lost on social media. My daughter does actually spend so much time on social media. I'm trying to get her to have social media, but no, please. Yeah, social media. Never want to leave the comfort zone. People are comfortable in some they don't want to go to their comfort zone. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to bring up a go to the comfort zone, you can make money during the comfort zone. You have to go and realize. Go. Okay. Always aiming to be perfection. Nobody's perfect, not even Jesus Christ is perfect. We all sin. So nobody's perfect. So don't think your spouse or your partner is perfect or your kids are perfect. No, none of us is perfect. Okay? I tell my mother, I says, I'm here married. I'm not perfect. I never told you I'm perfect. We made a choice. Right? Some people sit down all day. Ladies and gentlemen, when you sit down, you're going to tend to gain weight. So you may have a job where you're supposed to sit all day. Yeah, don't walk around. Like if I'm on the phone, if I'm home and I'm doing the business, for example, even though I have to do things like that, the phone, I walk around. Because sitting down don't burn any energy, and you tend to gain weight. Don't sleep enough. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how busy you are, at least 3-4 times you get enough sleep, get 8 hours of sleep. You take more, and if you're a morning person, you're eating person, I don't know. My wife's a morning person, I'm an evening person. I can step to 1, 2, 3 in the morning, no problem. When the last time I wake up 7 in the morning, I'm not the kind of person. I wake up later. I do wake up 7 sometimes, but I wake up late. I function very well between 9 and 9. At 12 hours, I function extremely well. Not before in the morning. It's just a little bit. Okay. And sometimes we overanalyze everything. Don't overanalyze things. Things happen sometimes in your life. Is it time up yet?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go through. Their excuses, pardon my French. I spend all day at work. I don't have the energy to work on side hustle. Because some people say, okay, I'm full-time on my job, and WF is a side hustle. Okay. Science tells us that electrons and atoms in your body contain the potential energy of 11,000 kilowatts per hour per pound. You have the energy you take to light up the whole North America contingent for a week. Don't lack energy, you're just uninspired. Stop making excuses. So when people give excuses, don't buy the excuses. Excuses are way, so I don't want to do this, I don't want that. Because they're uninspired. They're not inspired. And that's the purpose of the VPN, is to get people inspired when they come here. Then they meet other people and they get inspired. And let's talk with this to get people here. I've tried many times to get people here. Something you can't do. You guys do that Zoom. Do a Zoom, VPN on Zoom, I'll do that in your house. I will tell you Zoom nowadays, I will take the Zoom. You Zoom VPN. So if you recruit somebody and they have a home that they can invite people or a condo, invite them over. Say invite their friends, 10, 12 friends over, you go to a presentation in your house now. And you're comfortable, your presentation, you get the worst thing will happen, you get clients on it. Or you get some recruits on that. So it's important you do that also. Okay. Oops. This last one. Agnes always says, be a leader, don't be a boss. When you're a team, ladies and gentlemen, and you're SME, you can't be a boss. You can everybody thinks and the leader when they come here because they don't want a boss. They hate their boss, they don't get it from their boss. People might leader. A boss tells them, knows everything, and leader admits mistakes. Oops. Yeah. A boss tells people what to do, a leader shows them how things are done. A boss criticizes, over here we got cuts. A boss demands respect, obey, we show kindness, we show inspiration, and we fix problems collaborating with people. So when people have their problem, they come to you, don't boss them around. Still listen to them and see what their needs are, and help them with their needs and stuff. And sometimes you have to go and field training, etc. Or they might have they come across a client and they have explain to people you want to help. Even though you're not going to make any money out of it, by helping the team, they respect. Say, for example, you might get an MD and this are domination MD, help them. You might get the overrides that because they are an MD and you're an MD, but at least they help them, they respect them, and they will eventually go down. All right. I hope that you enjoyed today because I tend to focus on growing mentally as opposed to the other parts of the business side because we have different people who will teach different things. But think about yourself, talk to yourself, look in the mirror this whole thing. The best person to talk to you in the mirror. They don't like you. They tell the truth. All right, the question was
Very good. That's an awesome training.
It is. Sure.
You know, I have and I will see you on Tuesday. Put behind them.
Where did you go?
They launched, thing.
For next meeting?
Oh, yes. Just go. Make sure that we have those time. Especially the Christmas party, the launch, the was already started already. No, you can take that one.
Hanap pa ba? Ha? Huwag na. Congratulations. Galing. Wow.
Yay! Announce ako naman.
The winner.
I read it. Like Lisa McGowan. At least you know how to read.
Ipang mo,
Someone mo.
makapadalas ka na yan.
Ayun, yay. Magbasa lang ba?
Talaga.
Magbasa.
Are you recruiting what? Recruiting legal guest Tora?
So how's your car?
It's okay.
Don't do that anymore. Don't plan like you can plan, right? No planning car breaking down. Everything's good? You got it? You got it?
pick up today.
Oh, okay. That's the.
Thank you.
For the review of your team, do you have something that you give them that they need to read
Review?
of your team?
What?
Do you have some materials that you are reading? That they are reading?
No, because we focus in teaching them how to search
Oh,
when they give us
the question? Because it's an open note. Right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my team failed twice. Oh no, thrice.
but they need to search because some of the questions so you answer right away, but leave the one that
Search it, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.